Congratulations! You made it to grad school. We're going to give you a little rundown of what to expect your time here at UNC.
My typical days, they vary every day of course, but I'm a full-time GA, so I like to think of my schedule as an 8 to 5 job because I'm usually at school 8 to 5. I usually try to fit in all my office hours, which is like tutoring for students in the mornings, and then I have some classes, maybe working the clinic desk. Try to get homework done at school while I can, like in those office hours, but then I also go home and do homework. So my days are pretty busy, but they're great. Every day is different, but it's usually a combination of those things: class, work, office hours, some food.
For me, a typical day is like a full-time job. I'm on campus all day, and when I'm not in class or in clinic, I am filling up that time doing homework, learning more, talking with professors, getting stuff done ahead of time. It's really a big time commitment for me.
My days are pretty busy since I am also a full-time grad assistant, so I'm either working the clinic front desk, holding GA office hours, running around doing things for the professors, seeing clients, doing schoolwork. So my days are pretty full, and I'm usually on campus from 8 until it closes at 6. And then I'm doing stuff on the weekends and during the week, and you definitely have to stay on top of stuff when you're a full-time GA and a grad student in general.
The stuff that I'm working on in grad school, it will definitely apply a lot more to my career, and so I need to learn it a lot better. So it's not about getting through things quickly and not getting A's on everything, but making sure that you're learning that information. But it's a lot harder to learn that information when you have a lot of stuff going on and you have clients, and if you work outside and you have family and things like that. But managing your time and making sure you're organized is key.
I would say, as a person who has, through most of my life, kind of, I don't want to say coasted, but not exactly tried my hardest, that in grad school you can't do that. It's challenging and extremely difficult, and for me, I had to put in a lot more effort than I ever had done in anything in my life before. So I would say that with the caveat with saying that it's not impossible. I think once you're going through, it can seem like it's impossible, and it can seem like, you know, you can't do it, but you can. It's challenging. That's the biggest thing about this. It's incredibly challenging, but it's not impossible.
So clinic is a very fun, exciting, but also pretty challenging part of the grad school experience. You're working with a lot of different clients, a lot of different populations, but they're real people. So it's extremely important that it's first priority while you're in grad school. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of paperwork. You have to be prompt and professional about how you manage your time and work with those clients. So I think that's something really important to keep in mind. And additionally, you have a really close relationship with your supervisor who's helping you through the process. So learning, knowing when to ask questions, but also taking the responsibility and just doing the best you can, because you're truly serving people. And it's a beautiful thing, but it's something to be taken very seriously.
When comparing my grad school experience as compared to my undergrad experience, the workload for grad school is definitely a lot more intense. There's a lot more projects quantity-wise, as well as quality is a lot different.
So one of the biggest difference between undergrad and grad school that I noticed is the schedule. You may first look at your schedule and think, oh, I have a couple days off. That'll be great. I can do other stuff during that time. But grad school is a very big commitment, and you have to be available for group projects, meeting with professors, just getting your extra work done during that time. So the work is never done, and your schedule will be filled.
I think that there's a pretty significant difference between undergrad and grad school, and it's kind of it kind of sneaks up on you, because at first they kind of ease you in a little bit, and you think, you know, maybe it's a little bit harder than undergrad, but not that much. And then everything just really starts to build on itself, and it gets to be to where you've never really done that much work, and then you continue to get more as it kind of progresses through. And you have to allow yourself to adapt to that and to get used to that so that you can continue to improve yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you have to adjust your expectations. I don't know, that was the big part for me, is I had to realize that during the weekends it's okay if I do homework, and it's, you know, more beneficial for me academically if I'm doing homework. And so kind of setting that expectation that I will be doing a lot of work, not only during the week, but also as a big part of my weekends as well. That's been a big adjustment.
Just like the fact that it's always there. We have so many assignments, whereas like in undergrad I would finish something and be like, cool, I finished it, I have a break. I finished something and I have to start the next thing. You know, I don't know if you guys feel that way, but so many things.
I feel like when we say it's a 9-to-5 job, we mean you're on campus and doing school and clinical work from 9 to 5, and then you go home and you have to continue doing homework due to the massive amount there.
For everything on your to-do list, for everything that you cross off, 3 more things are then added. And it's just, it's kind of
never
insane.
ending. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I would say that you need to have a balance between schoolwork and stuff outside of school. Even if you're a very, very good student and you're highly motivated and you spend every day studying, and that's really good, but you also need to balance that with time outside of that, of, you know, go for a walk or go on a hike, and do everything kind of in moderation, and keep that in mind that, you know, if you might want to have a drink every once in a while, and that's fine. But do it in moderation. It's really easy to get overwhelmed and rely on stuff like, you know, having a drink. So you need to keep things in moderation and not do too much of anything. But I would say one of the most important things is understanding your own mental health, and that, you know, you do need to study and you do need to do your schoolwork, but you also need to take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself mentally and physically, you're going to perform much better in school. So that would be my recommendation.
So my greatest piece of advice for graduate students that are coming in are to really invest in the community around you. So your peers, the other students, as well as the professors, because building relationships and building that team behind you will help you get through some of the hardest times, but you'll also have a lot better of a time, more fun.
My biggest advice for people coming into grad school is understanding that you're here to learn and not only to get a good grade. I think that's a really big difference from undergrad, is that you don't just have to focus on competing with your peers and getting a good grade and passing the class. It's about learning so that you can become a better professional and be a good SLP.
So you definitely want to stay on top of things when you're in grad school. There's no such thing as a day off. You're always preparing for something, or there's some assignment that's coming up that you want to get on top of before you start falling behind. At the beginning of the semester, things seem like okay, and then it starts really piling up. So you definitely, when your professors say start working on something now, you really want to start working on that now, and just get ahead on things before you get too far behind.
Grad school is incredibly humbling, but it's also very rewarding, and it requires a lot of caffeine.
While grad school can be really chaotic, remember that this is a privilege and that it's not a burden. You get to choose to be here, and that you got picked out of all of the other people around that applied for this program. So really take it in, learn, love it, enjoy it, and you're going to be great SLPs.